Alright, so welcome back to part 34 of the C8 Corvette tutorial in Solidworks. And this is a advanced surfacing tutorial. And if you're just tuning into my channel, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. And then let's get to the model and let's continue it. So let's have a look where we left off last time and what we did. And what we aim to accomplish in this tutorial. So in last tutorial we've been working on this rear glass, and then we did some mirrors over here. And in this tutorial we're going to work on this rear end section here. We're going to add a little bit of curvature to this section so that we're going to stretch this surface body here. And then we're going to add a little bit of curvature so it kind of look like it's curving a little bit upward, just like the real one, so it has a little bit of downforce. And of course it will have the spoiler as well. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to delete this mirror surface on this side here. And then I'm going to jump over to first display state. And I'm going to click on the front plane, normal to profile. And then we're going to stretch this surface out to this point, to about this line here. And first we're going to stretch this sketch here. So to do that, I'm going to click on the face and hover over that edge and then edit sketch. And once that activated, I'm going to press a space bar and press normal to profile, and I'm going to pull this point out to that area there. Of course we want to stay on the line, so let's stay on this line, and let's pull it out to about here. And then when I exit the sketch, the surface will update. And then now we want to add that curvature to that rear section here, so I'm going to click the face and hover over this edge and edit this sketch here. Once that activated, I'm going to click on the front plane, normal to profile, and we're going to add that curvature here. So this blueprint didn't turn out very well for us. And then there are also some flaws, not flaws, but some minor problems in the design that I'm not happy about. Just to let you know that now I have access to very high definition blueprints and full screen resolution blueprints. So the next tutorials will be almost 99% accurate, I'm hoping, right? Alright, so exit the sketch and let's see what kind of surface we got with that manipulation. And then we created that upward curvature on that surface. Alright. Okay, so once that's done, what I want to do is I want to start setting myself up with creating this back section here, and then let's just jump into mirror here and mirror that surface body over here. So let's choose front plane for mirror plane, and let's choose bodies and just the surface there. Okay, and then we have that lovely curvature at the end of that vehicle, right? And of course we can fill this section in here, surfaces, fill surface, and we can use just fill surface to fill this in. And then you want to make I want to make sure that I choose all these edges here. And actually fill surface command is a great tool in SolidWorks. Great command, I love it, and it gives us a beautiful surface right there. Okay, so let's start setting ourselves up, and what we're gonna do is we're going to add a plane here, and on that plane we're going to insert a sketch image, and then This sketch image, this high definition sketch image, will be it's actually in part 1. You can get it from there, but I will leave a download link in this tutorials in this tutorial description, so you can download it from there as a Google Drive download link. All right, so let's create that plane. So let's jump to first display state here, so we can see where we're going to add that plane. So we're gonna make a sketch on the front plane here, normal to profile, and I'm going to grab a center line. I'm going to add that center line from somewhere about here, and I'm just going to make this straight as possible. So it's gotta be straight. Obviously, it will automatically be straight. Not automatically, but if you pull it, you see the yellow box, and it will tell you that is straight. And then exit the sketch, and we're going to add this plane. So click on that plane, obviously, and then I click on the line and click on that point. Okay, so let's click on this plane here and sketch on this plane, and let's insert our sketch picture here, and that sketch picture is in here, and I'm going to leave a link to this image in the description. So let's insert this image here. I'm going to press spacebar. I'm going to pull the sketch image down about here. Obviously, we need to make that to be the same size as the front view. I'm just gonna drop it basically somewhere here, because we do going after the bottom of the vehicle, not the tires. Trying to center it as best as possible, and then I'm going to press OK now, because we need to set up some other planes to properly adjust the size of this image. So there's one plane that we're going to add on the front plane here. So I'm going to click on front plane, sketch, and I'm going to add a center line, and that's going to look down from here. It's almost like a camera angle, right? And then we're going to add that plane on this sketch. So let's click plane, select the line, select the point, and then let's make a sketch on this plane. Alright, so I'm going to select 2 center lines, each from the side mirrors. So from one, I'm going to add one from this mirror. I'm gonna make sure that it is straight. I can also click on the line and say vertical, and they are vertical. Okay, then we can mirror this entity. So let's mirror this entity, and let's mirror it over the front plane. So that drops it right about there, about that area here, and we can work with that actually. So let's work with that, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to adjust the size of this image between these 2 lines, right? I mean these 2 construction lines. Right, so let's just pull it side, so the 2 side mirrors are kind of touching each other. Right, so somewhere there. So I'm happy with that one there. And then I'm going to add another plane somewhere in this, so we can see into the height of that picture. So I'm going to make a sketch on the top plane here. Not on that one, not on that plane. I want to make a sketch on the top plane, not. So make on the top plane sketch. And of course a center line somewhere out here. So it's almost like a camera angle, right? So exit this sketch. And of course just add plane. Okay, and the same thing, we're going to make a sketch on this plane. So from here we can see that these images are a lot better than this one here, a lot more clearer. So let's grab that center line and just drop it from the end of the tire. So we can see already that our sketch image has to go up a little bit. So we're gonna just exit the sketch, and we're gonna click on this sketch, and we're going to bring it up. So let's go to this section here. We can go to here, or so 0.3, try 0.3. Oh, that not much difference. Let's try 6. Okay, so maybe let's not. Okay, so like that. Let's not edit anything over there. Might change the size for us. So let's instead lift up this picture, and we go back to that other plane and try to center it from there as well. Okay, so let's go back to this plane. Just click on the plane and then normal to profile, and we're just going to center it inside those 2 lines. All right, and then let's jump back to this one here. So basically just click on the plane and normal to profile, and that will drop you in the right direction. So that looks good, and then it looks good from everywhere. So it is on the right height, and it is on the same height. We can also add user defined tools on this picture, but we don't really need to. So let me jump into the second display state here. And I'm just quickly going to make a snapshot of this view here for the thumbnail. Alright, so once we have inserted that sketch picture, we can go ahead and add our first curvature on this surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another display state here. Display state. I'm going to call this display state display state rear body, right? Rear body. Okay. And in the rear body, So in second display state, yeah, we don't want to see that picture. We want to keep that second display state clean. So I'm going to hide it here. I'm going to hide all these planes as well. So our second display state is always gonna be will stay clean. Well, to me at least. If you have different preference, that's fine. So rear body display state has the plane and then has the sketch picture, but in this as well I don't need the planes anymore, so I'm going to hide those. I'll hide the sketch as well, and maybe hide the center line here as well. So the only thing we have in this display state is the sketch picture that we need. All right, and then also we could probably add in this display state the top view, just so easy to click around and move around in this section here. So I'm going to press show on the top plane and the front plane. All right, so now we can navigate around a lot easier. All right, so let's see the surface, the first surface we're going to create here, and let's jump into the second display state, our clean display state, and then actually let's jump into first display state, and let's create that profile curvature here that we're going to work with. So normal to profile. Actually, I want to hide this line as well here, so it won't get in the way. Well, okay, we're gonna leave it then. Okay, so normal to profile, and then we're going to make that sketch on the front plane here. And since we stretched our surface out, we can add that add that sketch here. So let's have a look at the picture first and what we need to create here. So the first surface we're going to create is obviously going to be this probably this top section here that takes up halfway of this area here. So there's a top section that goes here. Let's just jump into solid again. All right, so there's a top section that halfway goes here and that connects there. Right, so we have right, so we have a top straight section that kind of follows this body here, and then from there we have a surface that kind of comes in that direction, and then we have this surface here, this whole straight surface that goes around to these areas in here. And once we created this surface, I want to create a curvature, and we're going to create that 3D curvature that defines the whole rear of the car, which is going to be this curvature that goes around here. Okay, so let's have a look at our model here. Okay, so we have this surface here, and then obviously we need to probably go in that direction and then come out here. Okay, so let's grab a line here, and let's go from this section down a little bit. So it goes in something like that and comes out to this point here, down to this area, and a little straight area here, and then it comes out to this point, and then that curvature we connect to this point, obviously, and then I'll exit the sketch and I grab another spline, and then we're gonna just come down with this line over here. Okay, and we can always move these points around to create the surfaces that we are looking for. So this line kind of needs to, the way I'm seeing it, it needs to align. So that comes down like that. Okay, and that comes to halfway, somewhere halfway, and the other half goes down to this section here. All right, so exit the sketch, and we're gonna jump over to this side, but we're gonna jump over to rear body or display state 2, so it's completely clean. And then here we're going to add a 3D curvature, 3D spline somewhere from around here. 3D sketch, 3D spline. Let's get that point somewhere around here to here. And let me jump to the top. And let's add a relation to that bar here. And let's fix it along the z-axis. And it kind of outside on this area halfway, and it curves underneath somewhere in the midsection, which is what we want. So press OK and exit the sketch. All right, and we can always pull this up or down. I kind of want to pull it a little bit, just a little bit up. All right, so let's try and then let's try and do a filled surface on these sketches here. Might not work, but let's try first. Yeah. All right, so let's do a boundary surface. So selection manager and select this line and this line and press OK, or yeah, press OK. And let's select this edge here, this sketch here, and for direction 2 we're gonna use this edge. Let's pull this point back to about there, and let's choose the sketch here as well for direction 2. That straightens out our surface there. And of course we want to pull that line up. No, we don't want to add any tangency on this face. So I want to pull this point all the way into this corner here, and that pulls the other side in as well, and that creates our surface. So press OK. And our model is already getting complex here, our surface body here getting complex, and then that's exactly the surface we're looking for in this area here. Alright, so it's getting complex, so it's a bit choppy now already. I'm running i7 CPU, and I'm running NVIDIA GTX and a graphic card, but it seems like we are with this much complex surfaces and all the sketches and hidden parts is already getting a little bit choppy. So what we're going to do once we finish all the surfaces here, and of course the wing mirror and then we fine-tuned everything on it to create, when we create the wheels and the brakes and the engine, and I'm not sure about the interior. Maybe we're going to create the interior. That's going to be a different part. So, and then we assemble everything in the assembly. All right, so let's mirror this body over to this side and see how that looks. So front plane, bodies to mirror, and we're going to mirror this body. Okay, so that looks good so far. And I want to jump back into the feature tree and bring back that sketch. So let's click on it and show that sketch. Okay, so you probably already guessed what is the next surface that we're going to create, and yes, it's going to be this to the endpoint here. But let's just look at the picture. Yeah. All right, so let's grab that 3D sketch, 3D spline, and let's grab it from this point to this corner here. And let me jump to the top section here. And I'm going to grab that bar, this bar here, and I'm going to fix it along the Z-axis. Press OK and exit the sketch. And then we're going to come into surfaces here, and let's do another boundary. Selection manager, select this edge and this edge, press OK, and select this sketch. And for direction tools, we're going to use the edge and the sketch here to straighten our surface. Press OK. So it created double surface for us because we didn't pull down the nodes. So I'm going to come into surface and edit the feature. And I'm going to pull that into the corner. Let's pull this one into the first. Let's put it halfway here. And that registered down already, so we don't have any double surface anymore. So press OK here. Okay, so that created this surface for us. And let's look at the picture here. So that's the surface we're looking for. And of course, we're going to trim back this surface as well. So let's mirror this surface over to the other end. And then let's mirror it over the front plane. And bodies to mirror is this one here. Okay, so we're looking good so far. And this corner is looking good as well. Okay, and then I'm going to leave it here, this part, and then in the next part we're going to continue with the rear section here, and see you back at that tutorial. Thank you.